We're going to explain how to handle the empty data error, no columns to parse from file error in Pandas. This error pops up when you try to read a file into a Pandas data frame, but Pandas can't find any data to create columns from. There are several reasons why this might happen, and we'll cover the most common ones and their solutions. 1. The file is empty. The simplest reason is that your file is completely empty. Before you even try to read it with Pandas, open the file in a text editor or your preferred program to check if it actually contains any data. If it's empty, you need to fix the source of your data. 2. Incorrect file path. Double-check that the file path you're providing to Pandas is read CSV or read Excel, read table, etc. Function is absolutely correct. A simple typo can cause this error. Print the file path before you use it to confirm it's pointing to the right place. Consider using the ospath function to get the absolute path, which is less prone to errors. 3. Incorrect file format. Make sure the file format you're specifying to Pandas matches the actual file format. If you're using read CSV for a DexLSX file, it will fail. Use the appropriate function, read CSV for CSV files, read Excel for Excel files, read JSON for JSON files, and so on. Header row issues. Pandas, by default, assumes the first row of your file contains column headers. If your file doesn't have a header row, you need to tell Pandas this explicitly using the header none argument in your read CSV function. Conversely, if you have a header row but Pandas isn't recognizing it, ensure that there are no extra spaces or formatting issues in that first row that might confuse Pandas. You might need to use the skip rows parameter if there are unnecessary rows at the beginning of the file. 5. Delimiter problems. For CSV files, the correct delimiter must be specified. If your file uses tabs instead of commas, you'll need to set S in your read CSV function. Similarly, if your CSV uses a different separator, semicolon, pipe, etc., you must specify it with sep, or delimiter. 6. Encoding issues. Sometimes the file encoding might be incompatible with Pandas' default settings. Try specifying the encoding using the encoding parameter. Common encodings include UTF-8, Latin 1, and CP2252. Experiment with different encodings if the default doesn't work. 7. Data corruption. It's possible that the file itself is corrupted. Try opening it in a text editor or spreadsheet program to see if you can visually identify any corruption. If so, you'll likely need to obtain a fresh copy of the file. Remember to always check your file for errors before running your Pandas code, and be meticulous with your file paths and parameters in the Pandas read functions. By systematically checking these points, you should be able to identify and fix the source of the empty data error, no columns to parse from file, and successfully load your data into a Pandas data